philosophy for me is, in the game, every time you pull the trigger, make it feel like the weapons that are in real life.
It's important that everyone on our team, whether you make the weapons, do animations for the weapons, do VFX, or design them, understands what it's like to feel the guns. So going out to the firing range is important for everyone to try and understand what we're replicating in game.
Yeah, from like the moment you fire a weapon, you're like, Brandon, we gotta change this, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I see what you mean. Translating the look from someone else shooting or you shooting into the feeling of like a game, that's really hard.
It always starts with finding the right people. And I'm always amazed by the weapons team. That team is really passionate about it. And so it's just about imagination on their side. And then it's just for Mark and I to kind of foster that and fan the flames and see what they come up with.
When you say like, how does it define a game? You really think back to old titles and you remember the guns in it. Like that's the first thing I think about. Like even as far back as the original Call of Duty, like you fire and you get that ting, 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 ting. Like that's what stands out to me in the older games.
I remember sitting there thinking like, these are the best firearms I have ever seen in a game ever. Like I love these weapons, I love how they look, I love how they feel. I remember thinking like, IW is the gold standard and I want to make that.
These guns are iconic, and even as someone that didn't know anything about guns, I could tell you what was the most iconic gun in every game and in every Call of Duty game, and it's like, I never thought that like we get to be in a situation where now we're the ones creating these legacy moments for future generations and players.
Rainin is legit like the best animator I've ever worked with in my life, like hands down. Ben, one of the most amazing artists I've ever worked with. I think I'm a pretty good designer, but like, you will accept like feedback on like timing and feel and things like that. You'll accept feedback on visuals and things like that. You'll accept that sometimes things need to play a little bit different than the exact thing that you're looking for. We rely on feedback from each other to make something amazing. Like I think that's like what really sets this team apart. We set out to make like a game that just played better than anything we've had before and a game that looks better than anything out there. That was our goal. I'm excited to see how we did.
They're one of the teams that playtest the most, so they're playtesting constantly. And it can be grinding, you know, to use the same weapons over and over again for multiple weeks as you're trying to tune it. They playtest together, they have that group that gives them feedback, so we just make sure that that is cleared for them, that they have whatever they need to be able to do that, you know, whatever resources they need to go and find, research, come up with ideas, try stuff, fail, you know, walk away from it.
We just kind of walk through and see what everyone's using, just kind of look over their shoulder a little bit, see if what they're doing looks fair and looks good, see if anything's happening to them that doesn't seem like it should be happening. So we're just kind of looking to make sure everything's presenting the right way and looking at the players to make sure that they're feeling good about what they're playing.
Oh, another one. Sorry, Derek. Yeah, that one's great. I let you have it.
Right now I saw sort of a frame rate drop, and I'm able to take note of that and be like, okay, this happened when this explosion went off, and we could go back and look at it and be like, why did that explosion cause a dip in frames in that moment? He's the only one seeing it.
Yeah, it's only on this one. Is it one of those weird? And here he's trying the Axion. We just did a recoil pass on it.
Cody. Me likey the new Axion. The most stable gun ever.
We work on it for years at a time. And then when we start the next one, we're thinking about what can be new.
We start with like, we need the right mix of assault rifles, SMGs, snipers, shotguns, like what does each category need in order for that category to feel strong? And so that's where the weapons team, like they're always researching, they're always finding new things. I'm always in awe that they have more ideas every time in the box of like, hey, I didn't get time to do that last time, let's do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
We constantly push ourselves. We're constantly saying, what's next?
You might spend 30 hours with a gun, you might spend 1,000 hours with a gun. So having a little thing that makes it fresh, makes it different is really cool for people.
I think it comes down to just like obsession is the word.
Like,
It's just that like every detail, every step of the way, we're like, how do we make like this one thing better?
Sometimes I'll go and record some of those motions myself. I'll study them. I will use that mocap station. And like, I'll do some of these motions and pantomime them or do them for real. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that I do that thing. Like, how can I capitalize on bringing that small detail into my crap now?
One of those things is the muzzle effects. For our guns to feel good, that has to be in our game. Like that's like a given, right? But it can't have a negative impact on gameplay. So we developed a really cool system that makes it so you get all the muzzle flash that you want, and we cut a hole in it, like right where you're looking, right where the target's at, so you don't lose line of sight with what you're trying to shoot.
I know I'm excited for the new hipfire changes.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah,
like
huge one.
So first, how would you describe bloom in a game? Like, what is bloom?
Ah, man, I think it's just uncontrolled randomness.
Like, this is a huge change.
Yeah.
This is actually probably one of the biggest changes I've experienced in our engine in any project we've worked on. Like, you attack and the game literally rolls the dice and it says, you hit here.
Yeah.
That's like one part that's pretty weak about it. The other one for me is that it doesn't look right at all. Like, when Rainin makes an animation for us, the last thing he would do is have the gun recoil like this and have bullets just randomly go off in different directions.
It really feels like, how do we not do this sooner, right?
You have more control of your weapon than ever before. You're not gonna get randomness, you're not gonna lose gunfights because of an unknown element that you have no control over. Like, you're gonna live and die by your decisions and your skill level.
There's depth of field. Depth of field in real life is actually important to shooting. It helps you when you're shooting a gun. And we look at that, and then we look at what's happening in game, and we're like, well, people are turning this off because what we do in game, our simulation, is destructive to the target. When it blurs outward, it's actually degrading the quality of what you're trying to shoot at. So we're like, can we replicate what it does in real life? But it feels awesome. We talk a lot about making the game more immersive. Like, the goal for Modern Warfare 4 is to really like put the player like in the boots of their operator, make it feel like they're really behind their gun. The framing of the weapon, the movement of the player. We don't just look at the gun moving around on the screen, but we think past the camera and we're like, how does the player's body move when they're doing that thing?
Situational awareness. You walk up to a wall now and you're trying to peek around cover. The weapon will actually pull back into the chest, and that feeling, that immersion that I get.
So that's one that you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, the gun's like moving around and making room for my body. It's insane, the complexity to it, but the results speak for themselves because it looks so natural that you're like, that's got to be animated, right? But it's not. It's all numbers moving in real time, and it just feels so good. So I think really looking at every detail with a fine-tooth comb is what makes our weapons stand out.
Some of the classic guns, they're like, okay, here's how we're going to innovate or change its character from last game or tweak it or do all the rest. And then this idea of Apex attachments came along to help guide them towards, okay, you have this gun, you're making it as awesome as it can be, and then what's the twist? What's that little spice you're going to add to it at the end?
I would say every attachment had a healthy amount of debate behind it because we're like, is this good enough? Can we make it better? There's some that maybe stand out a little bit more than others. The core nature of this gun is it's a single action gun, so it's a slow rate of fire revolver. This was a way to flip that and make it a super fast firing thing with a cool animation. You can run in, pop, 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 get the quick fires off, and then when someone's coming around the corner, you can ADS and you can get the very accurate long range shots on it. This is one that's definitely like bringing new behavior to the game. You have a underbarrel rocket launcher that's laser guided. You fire the rocket and you basically tell the rocket exactly where to go. So you can fire it up in the air and you're like, land here. The Spitfire's in Apex for the PPSH. It went through a lot of iteration. The original idea was like an incendiary underbarrel type thing. And so we got it in and we were using it, and it just was an instant not hit.
This is one of those ones where we were saying, this is not Apex worthy, right? So then it was you, right, Frank, that had the new idea for it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we put a grenade launcher on a SMG. I guess that's cool, but I'm like, what if it shoots fire instead?
For me, it was kind of interesting to explore stuff like area of denial and like, hey, I have this extra tool, and then gave my feedback and then wait for these guys to do another iteration of it.
It just kept getting that back and forth until you finally get to that like sweet spot of like, okay, let's just go for it.
We talk a lot about the core weapons group, but there's a whole army of people supporting them. This weapons team works hand in hand with our game code team to make that work. The rendering team's always helping with like scopes and constructive depth of field. So really it's about the whole studio knowing that these are our main characters and that we have to support this team making the most awesome shit and add to ourselves every time.
The star of the show is the gun. So all of the entire studio is supporting that star.